Inspired by Dreams with Diana. This show is all about introducing individuals and stories that inspires and matters the most. Hi everyone, so here I am today as we stroll down with Women in Business with Diana. I have this special guest who is a fashion consultant. She's not just a fashion consultant, she's a Miss Universe Canada delegate, international model. She has done New York Fashion Week twice, and she's an instructor at Toronto Kids Fashion Week. With further no delays, let me introduce you all to Madisson Lynn. Hi Madisson.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with me today.
Oh, of course, it's a pleasure.
Okay, so let's start off with the first question. Tell me a little bit about how do you see fashion as? What is fashion to you?
That's a great question. And fashion is so many things to me, but if I think of something right on the spot, it's fashion is showing who you are, showing your identity. And because there's so many different types of unique people in this world, you can walk down the street and see so many different types of passions, identities, characters. So I find that such a cool way to express yourself in fashion.
Great. So tell me, why did you choose fashion?
That's actually a very, very interesting question, and I've had a lot of people ask me that in the past.
But let me interrupt you. You
Sure.
do look like a person to be in fashion.
Oh, thank you. It was funny. I actually went to school to study sports psychology, and I finished my degree and all that type of stuff. But I didn't choose fashion; it actually chose me, which is kind of crazy, actually. So, if I can tell you how it happened, and I was on a city bus. I was going to school. I was in summer school that year because I wanted to get ahead of my credits.
Okay.
And this lady sat very close to me, like in my human bubble, like too close.
Okay.
And she hands me this card and she says, you need to call this number. And I'm like, okay, like no idea who you are, didn't say anything. And so out of human curiosity, I called the number, of course, and it was just a local agency in my hometown. And I went in for an interview just to kind of see what it was about, and I didn't catch on right away. I didn't really like it. It wasn't my thing. But I actually went back after I thought about it, and I took some classes because I didn't know anything about it, but I wanted to learn more about it.
Of course.
So
yeah.
I took just basic classes to understand the industry a little bit better, and I just ended up falling in love with it. And it was something that I didn't know I was good at.
Yeah.
And so I started to get out there a bit, and I did some creatives, and I did some little shoots here and there. And before I know it, I just blew up in the industry. I got some interest from Toronto, which is where I am now, and I just learned so much very quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I would be today if that didn't happen. It was a very fascinating way how I experienced it.
And it's sweet that you're also teaching the other fashion models, I believe, what you've learned, because I learned from you as well. I learned how to model from her. So that's a very nice thing that you're doing. You're sharing what you learned to others as well, that has passion about.
Yeah.
All right, now that we've spoken about success, I have a question for you. Have you ever failed?
Of course I failed, and I don't really look at failure anymore as an actual failure. I look at it more as a learning curve and something to better myself for where I made that mistake. And failing is not easy. It can really bring you down as a person depending on what that failure is. But as I grow and as I keep teaching myself where I went wrong and where I've gone right, it's an equal balance, because it's kind of weird, but the more you fail, technically the more successful you get.
Of course, yes, and I strongly believe in that as well. All right, so the next thing that I would like to know is, what would be your goal in 5 years?
Oh, always such a hard one. So when it comes to having my goal for the next 5 years, I can never give a really straight answer, because life can take you in so many different directions, which I think is great, because it's life's a journey. But what I know for sure when it comes to career-wise is I'm just looking forward to making a mark in the industry. I'm not sure how I will exactly 100% yet, but I'm working on that, and I have such a passion for it, and I love teaching, and I love giving back in ways that I can help others grow while I'm growing. And when it comes to other parts of my life, life in the next 5 years? I hope to be married and have kids and have little mini-me's, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's so cute, and I wish you all the very best.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so finally, I would like to ask you, do you have any advice to other viewers that are passionate about fashion or anything about their goals, to achieve their goals and dreams?
If I can give any advice, it's to have passion for what you're doing and to always have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, somebody will have one for you.
Perfect. Well said. Thank you, Madison. It's been great having this little chat with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best, and thank you to everyone who was listening, and I hope you enjoy your journey. At the end of this segment, I've been asked to give you guys a little bit of advice on what to do. And my advice to you is honestly, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do anything, believe that you can achieve anything. I never thought that I would end up on a magazine cover. This was my first magazine cover that happened a few years ago, and I never thought that would happen. And it just inspired me to push and to see where I can end up. With believing in yourself, it creates a plan. And make sure you have a plan for yourself, because if you don't, someone else will have one for you. Get out there, show your passion, and do you.
So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Until I see you guys on my next video, dream big, achieve big. Ciao from Diana.